Is he the guy that roasts the prisoners? No.
No, that was Jeff
Your
Ross.
show, F is for
Okay.
Family, I relate
guy's
to it because it's
hilarious.
about parenting in the 70s, and that's, you know, that was when I was parented like you. What do you think of parents now? How do you compare them to parents in the 70s?
Oh, it's just completely, the kids have so much power. It's like ridiculous. Like half of these kids, I'm like, I look and I just have what happened to me. And I'm like looking at a kid and be like, this kid's about ready to get punted across the grocery store. And it just never happens.
Right.
They just don't get hit. And I think it's hurting this country.
You're mad. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
No, like,
Let's get this. You're mad that children are not being hit.
This should be the threat of it. Half of it was just that, look, it was just your dad was acting like he was going to do it. He never did it, but your mother did. And because she was a woman, it was like, okay. Because it was like, hey, you let a girl beat you up, you kind of felt emasculated.
Yeah.
We had a rule, like, a lot of the stuff that I look at from when I was a kid that actually kind of made sense in a way would now be considered like abuse, I guess. Like when I was a kid, if you didn't finish your supper, as we called it.
Supper, yeah.
Yeah, my mother was just like, well, you're going to finish, she would just wrap it in cellophane and you just picked up where you left off for breakfast, like a blue-collar job. Like you take the shovel out of the hole and just start digging it again. So, yeah, I remember one night we had cube steaks, which is like one of the toughest pieces of meat. I don't know if you guys, everything's so like Asian-infused Wagyu beef. Everybody's eating that crap now, but cube steak was like, they literally had to hit it with a hammer to make it like edible. And so we were having cube steaks. And I forget, my little brother was still in a high chair and he couldn't finish his. So my mother goes, all right, we're just gonna have to eat it for breakfast. And that was like 8 hours away, which was like half his life. So he was like, all right, I'll take that deal. So the next morning, I remember we were having waffles. My mother always made Sunday breakfast. So we had all these waffles, eggs, bacon, this whole layout. My brother was looking at half-eaten cube steaks and a little mound of green bean casserole. And he goes, so he looked at my mom, he goes, Mom, can I have a waffle? And she goes, no, you got to finish your supper. He's like, well, after I finish my supper, then can I have a waffle? She goes, no, that is your breakfast. And he goes, oh, Mom, I hate you. And my dad, without looking up, took a full glass of milk and threw it in his face. Swear to God. This is what kills me. What kills me.
You want everyone today to have as miserable a childhood as you had.
No, but it was kind of funny. We know what's hilarious was my mother just popped up and just immediately started cleaning up, and my dad just kept eating. Like he didn't like the roles were defined back then. Now the guy has to throw the milk, he has to clean it up while telling his wife she's brave for just sitting there. Like whatever that is. Can you hear it? Oh, I know. Women are so overrated, right? We went from We went from not listening to them to now it's ridiculous. Like that believe women. It's like all of them. How about 85%? I'll give you 87%, all right? But that last 13% that keys your car, lights your shit on fire, and puts a family pet in a pot of stew.
Who put a pet in a pot of stew?
Fatal Attraction.
Okay, all right. I think it was a separately boiled.
You know what I miss? I miss tougher parenting and evidence. Those are the things that I miss from my childhood.
Evidence?
Yeah.
You mean
due process?
Right.
Somebody says something happened, and then someone else goes, well, I said it happened this way, like the old gumshoe shows. Then they had to figure it out.
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't exist now on social media. It's just it's just frontier justice.
Right.
You feel how nervous everybody just got in here? The fact that I just suggested that there should be due process? This guy's talking crazy, man. Did he just join ISIS? This is what it is.
What I'm saying.
And then the woos that they agreed, but they didn't agree when it counted.
We'll digitally add woos, don't worry. We have the woo machine. You are way too angry. 50 is still relatively young. You have the anger of a 110-year-old man. All these telephones.
I can't argue.
Oh, that's funny.
What, due process? That's what you've got upset about. It's true.
Well, no, there's a lot of things he said that's true.
Yeah.
Especially with kids these days. Kids need to
structure and
they
discipline.
need discipline.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Discipline is not punishment.
And they
Discipline
need
is proper.
And they need to be taught manners.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. Kids these days, they won't apologize. Will not apologize. It blows my mind. It's like you're pulling their teeth. I'm not joking. I did vacation Bible school. I was like blown away by kids like running it, like cutting people off. You know, they're running and they're excited. But I'm like, you say excuse me, and they look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, hey, say you're sorry. You bumped into that person. What? Like, it's a foreign word.
Well, that's why you're there teaching.
I'm just kind of blown away by it. I'm just like, you have to say you're sorry. You hurt somebody. Or here's another example. One kid says they're sorry. The other kid is so mad, goes and won't accept it. I'm like, no, you accept the apology. Or you just sit there and you pout. Like, that's not how we act. But yeah, it blows my mind. And then I'm like, wow, as a society, we really need to work on this. Yeah. Because we're raising children that don't know how to apologize. We're raising children that don't know how to say excuse me or thank you or, you know. It's like, or yes, sir, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
You know, I've had people say, oh, they don't have to say that.
What?
And I'm like, well, yes, they do, because I'm raising them that way. You know, they need to say yes, sir, yes, ma'am.
It's one of the best characteristics that the kids had that Sharon taught them.
Yeah. It's important. It will take them far in life.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
You have someone come in and apply a job to you, and they're like, yes, sir, or yes, ma'am. Yep. Guess what? I'm going to want to hire that person because they know respect.
Jonathan got pulled over, and his license was expired, and he was so polite. The police let him call me. I came up there and picked him up, and I mean, it was great. Why? Because he wasn't a jerk.
Yeah.
And he was very polite.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. No, sir. And the reason he was able to do that is because he always does that. How you do anything is how you do everything.
Oh, yeah.
And how you do everything is how you do anything.
Yeah.
This is the Lawyer Dana Show.